Let's take a look at graphing a trig function that has a number in front of the x inside that's going to cause there to be a change in period. Here's our 4 basic graphing steps. We have to make a chart with 5 lines. And here's what happens when there's a number in front of the x. The period changes to 2 pi divided by that number. In this case, 2 pi divided by 2 is 1. The chart should start and end at 0 and at the period. So in this case, the chart's going to end at pi. Midpoint, the third line in the chart will be the midpoint of the first and last. And if it's obvious to you that that's the midpoint, great. Otherwise, you can always use the midpoint formula, add and divide by 2. Next, we'll get this x value, which is the midpoint of the 2 surrounding it. Again, it may be intuitive, or you can add and divide by 2. Here's some elementary school math you'll recall. This number will be the midpoint of the one above it and below it. And again, if it's not intuitive, you can add and divide by 2 to get the midpoint. I recommend hitting pause and checking out all this math. There's a lot of elementary school math going on there. Once your table is set up, you can go to step 2, plug all those x values in the calculator, and you'll get your y values. Your calculator may require the time signs in strategic places. Step 3, plot all the points. Remember, when you plot these 5 points, you're going to have to convert the pi expressions into actual decimals to get a sense of where to plot them. Draw the function. Next, duplicate that graph one more time right at the very end of it so that we show 2 cycles. We're technically done graphing here, but one thing you may find helpful when it comes to labeling all the points on this graph, because notice they're not labeled yet, is to make another table of the second wave that you drew. To do this, take the last entry from the first table, pi 0, and make it the first entry of the next one so that the waves connect. Keep the same y values. After all, we're just repeating the same cycle, so there's no reason the y values will change. And add 1 period to the x values from the first table. Remember, in this particular problem, the period was pi. Here are all the answers I got when I added pi to everything. I'll show you one example. We take 3 pi over 4 and add pi to it, and we do some elementary school math. We'll get the sum, and that's where the 7 pi over 4 came from. Remember to label all your points. You want to label maximum, minimum, and x-intercept points. And that completes the problem. Thank you for watching.